we've just added the next layer of 3, which is the high carbon. We've just done 4 measures of pea straw, 4 measures of wheat straw, and 4 measures of wood chips, as you can see. And we just sort of tweaked it a little bit, because these wood chips, as you can see, there's a lot of white fine material, which is, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, they're very tiny fine white threads, and that's fungi, beneficial fungi. So what we did, we just added a splash of like a 250 ml, call it, of fish with some water, and we just put them on top of the wood chips, just to feed these little microbes, these little fungi here. I wasn't going to add any of the liquid accelerants, so the molasses, the fish and the kelp, until we've finished building this, and we'll let it soak all the way through. But this was too good an opportunity to waste. So just adding just a little bit of fish with some water, just to feed these fungi here and just give them a real boost. So this is the kelp meal. Lots of growth promoters, growth hormones, sea minerals. Sea minerals, you only need them in trace amounts to have enough for healthy plants, healthy soils, healthy people. I'm going to put half the bag in now, and then half the bag in towards the end. And when you're adding your dry mineral fertilisers, just get a rake and sort of mix them in a bit, you know. Otherwise they can sort of clog up and form a bit of a, well, almost impenetrable to water, you know. Especially phosphate, you know, calcium phosphate. But kelp does it too, so you want to mix them in a bit, just to prevent an impermeable layer forming for the water. Alright, so that's pretty good. Now we'll add half the 25 kilo bag of calcium phosphate. Try and spread it as evenly as possible. It's not the end of the world if it's a bit thicker in some places than others. Now, why are we adding the dry mineral fertilisers now when it's already almost half or over halfway? Because you don't want to add the dry mineral fertilisers at the very bottom, because they cost a fair bit of money. You want to keep them in the compost, so you want to keep them higher up when you first build the pile, so that by the time you do the first turn, they're already mostly locked up by microbes. So you don't just sort of, you know, throw that money down the drain. And now about half of a 15 kilo bag of blood and bone. Diversity of ingredients equals diversity of microorganisms. But of course everything's got to be in the right sort of quantities and ratios too, so. Alright, we'll use the rest of this bag up, as well as the rest of the phosphate and the rest of the kelp in the next few layers. And we'll just water all these minerals in, and then we'll get on with adding our greens, so our 8 measures of lucerne, chaff, oat straw and garden pruning.